Hello there. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about all things VTuber. I am Rex Nebula, and today we will be talking about a lot of VTuber related stuff, as usual. So we begin our story with Kuro from VShoujo. So Kuro a while ago released a tweet saying, he showed a tweet where it showed a Discord message where the Gun Run, basically the CEO of VShoujo, was saying graduation request approved. Initially, a lot of people were confused when they saw this message because that would mean that Kuro was graduating. Like he only debuted a while ago, so he was graduating a little too quickly. A lot of people were confused with the announcement, and then we found out why. We found out what that was about. And no, Kuro is not graduating. It was just something funny that happened. So there was this live stream and there was a subathon going on. One of the subathon goals was that Kuro had to send a message to Gunrun. And what happened was Kuro sent a message to Gunrun saying that he was pregnant with Gunrun's child. I know it sounds cursed, but yeah, it's cursed. But Kuro was the one who did this. So he was saying he was pregnant. He needed child support. He wanted the Gunrun to give him money for the child. And he sent the message. And then the Gunrun just sent a message back saying graduation request approved. And then Kuro was shocked. Obviously, it's all in good fun. It's just joking. It's just banter. It's joking around. And Iron Mouse would also react to the video, and they all laughed about it. It was nice.
And this isn't a joke. I think I might actually have to resign from VShoujo.
What?
I found out recently that I was pregnant, and it's changed a lot about my life. You may be the father. Anyway, the child support is $1,000 a week.
Okay, fine, I'm sending it. Oh no, man.
Wait! Chat! No! What is this? What the piss, man?
Before we move on, just to clarify, Kuro is not graduating. It was a prank. The Gunrun was pranking Kuro. Kuro was pranking Gunrun. We all know he's not graduating, right? Now, let's talk about something that happened a long while ago. So, we talk about the creator of Neurosama, the British fanboy Vidal. So, Vidal had apparently gone into $150 million in debt by accident. So what happened was Vidal sent out a code and he wanted to give the code to a person in chat. Vidal wanted to give the person a free Neurodoll. And the code was supposed to be used once only. But apparently, Vidal would soon find out that the code had an unlimited use. That meant as many people could get a free Neurodoll. Like for free. After a while, too many people redeemed the code. And at the end, 5 million people redeemed the code for the $30 plushie. Well, it could be just people just spamming the code and redeeming the plushie. But yeah, there were 5 million redeems. So 5 million multiplied by $30 meant that Vidal had to basically give away $150 million worth of free plushies to the people who used the code. This was insane. It was insane. Plus, they had more sales at the Whole Life plushie pre-orders at the time as well. Obviously, Vidal was having fun with the situation. He probably knew that Makeshift, the website that was responsible for the pre-orders, would never actually go through with the order. They would probably cancel it behind the scenes. Vidal was on stream. He was claiming that he was going to halve his bankruptcy by marrying multiple girls. And he told chat not to tell Annie that he was going to marry her and divorce her real quick, bang, bang, boom, and to just halve his debts. The idea was, if he could marry a couple dozen times, he could basically halve the debt so far that it was like cheap to pay off. Thankfully, the Makeshift company shut down the pre-orders for the Neuro plushie, and then after it was turned off, the Makeshift launched a new pre-order for the Evil Neuro plushie, which is now over, and it sold like 10,000 plushies, which was way more than the amount of pre-orders that Vidal previously had, the legitimate orders. If there's something we can learn from all of this, it's that when you're giving codes to people, you should really check if it's unlimited or a one-time use thing, right? Or we could just blame Makeshift for your policies. Either way, next up, we talk about advanced outfit reveals. So this is a really mature look for Nerissa. Her kimono looks nice. There's even a little umbrella toggle. We have Fuamoko as well. As usual, there are no boobs for Mokoko and boing boings for Fuwawa. Bebo's outfit makes her look like a baby, and she's sucking on a pacifier as well. I guess it suits her lolly aesthetic. I don't know who wanted this. Shiori looks nice and proper for Manhara, right? In her New Year outfit. My only complaint is that her boobs don't move enough. Shiori's clothes make her look really elegant, I'll say that. Most of the girls had fancy kimonos. It was a nice way to start a new year. So this outfit stream was previously delayed because of the earthquake that hit Japan. So having it happen now is pretty nice. We finally get to see the outfits. Shiori also had this brush behind her back that she said she wanted to use to brush us in places where we wanted to be brushed. Shiori she really wanted to get hygienic with us, apparently. Really, really hygienic, if you know what I mean. We move on to Specialite, which is a relatively new VTuber company. And this VTuber company a while ago launched a couple English members for their branch. It was the first generation English members who debuted first. And then later on, right, Specialite JP decided to debut the second half of the first generation of their JP VTubers. The first half of the first generation has already debuted. I guess they're splitting apart like the first generation of their VTubers to give their VTubers time to breathe, because the fan base can only deal with so many talents at a time. If you're debuting too many people, right, it's gonna be difficult to capture the attention span of your audience. And Specialized is probably doing this as a way to have that debut boost of subscribers, not once but twice, right? And this is the trailer for their JP generation, right? This is the second half. Enjoy. But enough of that. We are going to talk about Idol Corp now. So last year, Idol announced a strategic partnership between Idol and the Brave Group. For those who don't know, Idol is a medium corp. They are a VTuber agency that has grown pretty large in the past year. And I would say that Idol Corp and Face Connect are among the two companies in the English-speaking space that are really respected outside of Ishoujo. Hololive or Nijisanji, I would say they are not up and coming, but they are a medium corpo. So having Idol partner up with Brave Group, which is pretty much larger, because Brave Group is basically a company that owns like DSPO, they own Himehina, they've launched a couple of English VTuber groups as well. It's pretty significant. So what happened was Idol was saying, I guess this is a PR speak for Brave Group. So Idol said, Brave Group shares our passion for empowering talents and creating great content for fans. We are excited to be joining forces with them, and we believe this collaboration will be impactful for both parties. They also said, please note this partnership is about collaboration, while both Idol and Brave Group maintain their individual independent operations. Aviel Bazin, like the CEO of Idol, would also say that he clarified that this collaboration was not a buyout. I don't know why he said that, but yeah, he said it wasn't a buyout, and Idol Corp and Brave Group would have their groups separate. It's only the e-commerce part of Idol Corp that will be taken over by the Brave Group, right? Because it's more convenient for them. The CEO of Idol Corp, Aviel Bazin, would release a blog post where he details the challenges that they have faced as a VTuber company. He would also explain a couple non-ideal situations regarding the Donathon, a couple of things they fell short on. In this blog post, Aviel would go a little deeper into why he decided that Idol needed to have a collaboration with the Brave Group, and why he's allowing the Brave Group to take over the e-commerce operations of Idol. I can kind of guess why, because merchandise has always been difficult for VTuber agencies. If you look at Hololive and Nijisanji and even Face Connect, you'll realize that sometimes it takes like up to 6 months before you get your product, and that is not really ideal. So basically this is what happens. You need time so everyone can pre-order, so you can put in one large order at once to get cost savings. And then after that 1 month of pre-order is done, you need to wait a couple more months while they're making the product. And then you need to wait a couple more weeks, up to a couple more months before they make the product, ship it out, right? And you're slowly shipping the product out. There's no way to cheat in this situation. You have to do everything diligently. Every process has to be done correctly. And by the way, Hololive and Nijisanji used to have this problem with their e-commerce side where it costs more to ship the product to fans than it was to buy a product. Like you had to pay like $20 for a $2 keychain or something. I'm exaggerating here, but I don't quite remember how much it was. But yeah, the challenges still stand. It is difficult to handle VTuber merchandise. It is difficult. And obviously, Brave Group has more resources than Idle Corp. Idle Corp is a medium corp. They have enough to help their talents throughout the day-to-day. But overall, when it comes to e-commerce, it's harder to deal with, especially when larger companies like Hololive and Nijisanji are having the same issue. Like some of the issues have been fixed, and Nijisanji and Hololive do ship their products at a much faster rate now, right? I think a lot of people have realized that. They have improved, but it's still not ideal, is my point. Face Connect, which is Idle's competitor, Face Connect has always had problems with their merchandise. I guess the reason why that you might not notice is because Sakana orders the product before the pre-order sometimes, and then he just ships out the product to lower the shipping times. And for some reason, because of all the challenges Sakana had to face when dealing with VTuber merchandise, Sakana has, I think, developed PTSD, right? Because whenever Sakana is on stream, he's always gushing about how much effort he's put into his warehouse. And he's known as a CEO who went into the VTuber industry and then emerged as a warehouse maniac. And I think that's just the PTSD talking, right? Yeah, Sakana has had to manage so much that had to do with merchandise that he's now become a warehouse maniac. All I'm saying is that, yeah, it's challenging to do e-commerce. And now we should really read the blog post because I don't want this video to get too long, right? So what has the CEO of Idle said regarding challenges? So Aviel said, not everything goes smoothly. Recently, they learned the hard way that fast growth can sometimes be dangerous if not planned well, probably talking about the Riroron situation or something else. I don't know. They found themselves facing difficult challenges that led to stress affecting everyone. So recently, Idle Corp has chosen to take things a little slower, plan more in detail, and to avoid overpromising when resources are still limited. Idle has placed a lot more focus on growing the team with the addition of 3 new managers, probably to replace the last manager they had to fire because the last manager had a relationship with Riroron, one of their talents. The CEO would say, I've apologized internally, but I would also like to take accountability and apologize publicly for any stress this has caused. Aviel would also go into the Donathon problem, where he said, I know some people have been waiting for Donathon prizes or have questions regarding goals not being met. Because Idle is covering 100% of the cost of the Donathon goals without much limitation, we did not consider our resources well and encountered challenges. As a result, we've created a new internal policy regarding Donathons, and we will be handling them much more quickly, with all goals being completed within an 8 to 12 months from the event and all prizes to top winners being sent out within 4 months of the event. As for the current Donathon, we will publish a public Google Sheet later today detailing clear timelines and deadlines for every single goal release, as well as information regarding shipment of awards to the top tippers. Aviel would also include a dedicated email for anyone who wanted to ask questions regarding the Donathon. And now we finally get to the meat of the problem, or rather the announcement. Why is Idle Corp deciding to partner with Brave Group for their merchandise? Aviel would say, I understand how important merchandise is for fans. As much as we wanted to get merchandise right from the start, we encountered a lot of unaccounted for challenges that are mostly our fault, though the war in Israel did not help and created a lot of challenges that made that worse. The merchandise will get shipped out and we are sorry about the delays. We expect the deliveries to happen within Q1 of 2024, and we have opened a dedicated Twitter account for our store to update all the time regarding the status of our products being shipped. Because of these challenges, we will be soon outsourcing all of our merchandise production and operations to Brave Group so that we will be able to focus on creating great content and supporting our talents while still being able to continue to push and create unique merchandise on a regular basis. We know some people wonder about the release of additional merchandise when there's merchandise that hasn't been shipped, but it's important for us to continue to provide ways to support the talents, and we don't want to miss out on on important milestones and holidays to create unique merchandise that we know will get shipped eventually. Aviel, the CEO of Idle, would double down on his responsibility by highlighting this sentence. I would like to offer full refunds to anyone who doesn't want to wait any longer. You can do that at any time at aviel@idlecompany.com and I will handle it for you. Yeah, this is good. He's taking responsibility. I guess Idle Corp had more problems with the merchandise than I thought. Yeah, there's a war in Israel and I guess that's impacting the e-commerce side of the business. So they're trying to get help from Brave Group so they can overcome this. Okay, and here we go. Aviel is addressing the Brave Group announcement. So as we announced, we have partnered with the Brave Group. They have released a great press release that I suggest you read here. I know this seemed to come out of nowhere, but we have been in touch with the Brave Groups for some time now, and it was refreshing to see a corporation with shared values and a vision that is not afraid to invest in their own content and talents. Our cooperation at the moment is focused on the future content and projects, as well as outsourcing our merchandise production to their team. We are excited to continue working closely with them and are sure we can make this partnership mutually beneficial. There was a Christmas stream recently where Idle was collabing with Reform Mirai, which was one of the branches from the Brave Group. So I guess this is what they meant by cooperating on future content and projects. As for outsourcing their merchandise, yeah, I mean, e-commerce is hard. Yeah, this is quite normal. If you can't handle it yourself, you outsource the work to another company. Aviel would also say that before there's false speculation, this is just a partnership and not an acquisition. Idle still is an independent corporation and we retain full ownership of it and its direction. Well, I guess that stops the rats. You know, I think overall, Idle made the right decision to just outsource their e-commerce side of the business to just a larger company that already has an infrastructure ready to support it. Well, if they don't have it already, they're going to have to build it anyway because the Brave Group has venture capital money, more than Idle Corp, right? So they are much better positioned to build up an e-commerce empire from scratch. They have been expanding by opening up a lot of headquarters. They have launched a motion capture studio. They've been pulling a lot of moves recently. And the Brave Group is spending money a lot. They're spending a lot of money on operations. Considering that the Brave Group already owns VSPO, they acquired it from the company and now the management is still there, but the ownership belongs to the Brave Group, right? So the Brave Group owns VSPO, Hime Hina, Reform Mirai, Globi. Reform Mirai and Globi are the homegrown English-speaking VTuber talents. There's one that's focused on the Europe side of the business because Europe as the continent is underserved in the VTuber industry, I guess. And then so the Europe side has been served by Globi. And then we had Reform Mirai. I don't know who this is for, but yeah, it's part of the Brave Group. Well, yeah, I think Idle made a good decision to collaborate with the Brave Group. It will be one of their best decisions yet. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you were nice enough to come over and spend time with me. I hope to see you in the next video. This is Rex Nebula, signing out.